Hey guys, this is Subhash Mishra. Today we are going to discuss a very important interview question which you all have faced in your interview. Can you explain your automation framework? I know lot of people have really not designed or built framework from scratch. Most of the time the framework will be there previously, or framework is built by a test lead or architect, and you guys are just consuming it and writing your test. You can give an honest answer what is your contribution to the framework, but if you explain the framework which you are using, that is more impressive. So here in this video I will be explaining you in detail, step by step, how to explain the framework. Please watch this video till end without skipping it. If you are very new to my channel and watching my video for the first time, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you will get a notification for the new videos. Also press the like button. So without any delay, let's start. First, we will understand what is framework. So, a test automation framework is a set of guidelines or rules used for creating and designing test cases. So, whenever you are creating a framework, you are defining your own rule or own guideline and following that. So, when we follow some certain guidelines or rules, we get better result. So in that way, if you will follow a framework or guideline or certain rule, you will find better result of your test cases, automation test cases. Okay, the maintenance will be easy. So all the advantage of framework, you will get it. We have different kind of frameworks. So we have linear framework, we have modular driven framework, where we have library architecture testing framework, we have data driven framework, we have keyword driven framework, we have hybrid testing framework. So there are different kind of frameworks we have. I am not going in detail for all these frameworks, as I have already created a separate video on this. What are the different frameworks available, what are the benefits of this framework. I will provide the video link in the description, you can go through that. In this video, we will explain or we will discuss how you can explain the framework in your interview. Okay, so there are few things, right? So the very first thing you need to talk about the language. So we are using Selenium with Java for our UI automation. So you can start something like this, right? We are using Selenium with Java for our UI automation. Okay, in this framework I am explaining about UI automation. Okay, maybe for the API automation we will create a separate video. Also you can refer this video for your API automation context as well, but as of now we will be discussing only about UI automation. Okay, so you can start something like this. We are using Selenium with Java for our UI automation. Though Selenium supports multiple languages like Java, Python, C#, Perl, and so many different languages, our project is a Java based project and Java fits well here. So we are using Java with Selenium. Also most of the automation testers have very good knowledge on Selenium with Java. That's why we are using Selenium with Java for our UI automation. Then you can talk about the framework. So we are using hybrid framework and it is built on top of data driven framework. Okay, so you can tell that you are using hybrid framework, though you are also using data driven framework. We will talk more about it. Then you can talk about the design pattern. Okay, so we are using page object model design pattern with a phase factory implementation. So in page object model, what is page object model? You need to explain that, right? So you can tell that in page object model, for each web page we have a dedicated class, and that class will identify web elements of that web page and also contains page methods which perform operations on those web elements. For example, we have a login page, we have a home page, we have a payment details page. For example, we have different pages, right? In a UI, if you go to a UI, first maybe you will find a login page. Once you are login, you will go to the home page. Maybe in your home page, if you are, I'm talking about a e-commerce website, if you are adding some product and then adding to the cart, you are going next, maybe you are going to the payment details page. So there are different pages, right? Let's assume that we have now only 3 pages. One is login page, one is home page, and one is payment details page. So if you are using page object model, you will have 3 different classes for your 3 different pages. For login page, you will have a login page class. For home page, you will have a home page class. For payment details page, you will have a payment details class. And for the login page, we will have few web elements like username, password, submit button and all, right? So login class will have the ability to identify all these web elements, like we should able to identify username, we should able to identify password, we should able to identify the submit button also. Okay, and we will have the methods in this login page, right? You will have some methods which will, what it will do, it will help you to enter text in the username, it will do enter text in the password, it will click on the submit button. Okay, so you should able to perform some actions, okay, on those web elements. Similarly, home page and payment details page will have different methods. Whatever functions or whatever functionality this home page or payment details page are doing, you can have different methods there. Okay, so that's how you are using page object model. Okay, then the next thing is testing framework. So what is the testing framework you are using? So we are using TestNG as a testing framework. So for validations, right, for the assertions, you can use TestNG assertions. You can also use different annotations, TestNG annotations like before shoot, after shoot, before class, after class. So we are using all these annotations, TestNG annotations. We can also perform grouping, parallel execution through TestNG. TestNG will also provide some reports. So though we are using extend report for our reporting, but we can integrate our extend report with the TestNG. So here you can say for the reporting we are using extend report. Okay, we have integrated extend report with TestNG and it generates a very beautiful HTML report. Okay, using extend report we can add different events, we can add screenshots, we can add tags, devices, who is the author, okay, so many other information. Also you can add custom logs. Okay, so you can even add logs through your extend report. Then the next thing is logging. Okay, so using extend report you can generate log and you can keep that logs in your HTML report. But if you are using extend report for logging, you can tell about it. But if you are not using extend report, you can talk about log4j. Maybe would have been using log4j, right? So here I am using log4j. So using log4j we can log, we can do the logging and we can use it for the debugging purpose. So it helps to debug the test script whenever there is a failure. For example, a test case failed, right? So how we will know what exactly failed, what time it failed, right? So by looking at the logs we will get all those informations. So logging is very important and we have integrated log4j with our framework. You can talk about this. Then the next thing is the build tool. So we are using Maven as a build tool. So we have a Maven based project. All our dependencies are present in our pom.xml file. Okay. So in case of version upgrade, any dependency, right? In case of version upgrade of any dependency, for example, you are using Selenium 3.0 version, you want to upgrade to 4.0, right? You can just go and update your pom.xml file, you can just update that version. So it is very easy, right? You can just go and update that particular version and build your project. So that's how it helps you, right? You can also tell about you have integrated testng.xml file in your pom.xml file, that helps in executing your test scripts in Jenkins. Okay, because we execute our test cases not only locally, right? We have to execute all our test cases in Jenkins. So when we have integrated testng.xml file with pom.xml file, basically if it is a Maven project, we can do it very easily. We can add the plugin and then we can do it, right? So that's how it is helping, right? Then you can talk about the version control tool. So we are using Git as a repository to store our test scripts. Okay, so Git is the version control tool which we are using. Then the next thing is Jenkins. Okay, for continuous integration we use Jenkins. Okay, we have scheduled jobs in Jenkins for nightly execution of our test cases. So all the test cases gets executed on daily basis and the report sent to all the component owners. If there are failures, automation testers can analyze the report and take necessary actions. Maybe they need to do a code fix, or if it is a automation code fix, or if it is a actual bug, then they can report it to the developers. So analyzing the report or getting the report on a daily basis helps, right? So if our test cases are getting executed in Jenkins on daily basis and we are getting the test case results, we can easily analyze it and we can raise a bug or we can fix our automation test cases, whatever is required there. So that's why Jenkins is very, very important. Okay. So these are the overall different components present in your framework. You can talk about it. Okay, what is the language, what is the framework, what is the design pattern, okay, what is the testing framework, what is the how you are doing the reporting, how you are doing the logging, how you are doing the build, what is the version control tool you are using, what is the CI/CD tool you are using. Okay, you can talk about all these things. Okay, then the next thing, what is the next thing? We have to explain our package. Okay, what are the different packages available in our project? We have to explain the project structure we have, right? So what you can do if you are giving a telephonic interview or if you are giving a virtual interview, you can just explain it. But if you are giving a physical interview, okay, if you have a pen and paper available there, okay, or if you have a whiteboard to draw and show you, right? So I will always suggest go ahead and draw some diagrams. First of all, you practice yourself, okay, how you want to explain it. Okay, look at your project, look at your each and every packages you have, then draw a diagram and explain from that diagram. Okay, that will be very, very impressive, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's see, I'll just show you with the practical things, okay, how the project structure is. You can talk about it. Okay, so here you can see we have different packages available, and this is my complete project. Okay, so the very first thing, I have a package named as common. Okay, so where I have a base test class and I have extend report manager.java class, and then I have a listener class. Okay, so what is this base test class? Okay, so as the name is base test, the class is the base of our framework. Okay, it contains all the common functions used by all the pages. Okay, so all classes can extend this base class and they can use it. Okay, so this base class will have the code to read the property file, initializing the WebDriver, launch the browser, implement the wait mechanism. Okay, will also have the code to integrate the extend report. Okay, then you can see I have two different file. One is extend report manager and one more is listener. Okay, So this listener is mainly used to capture the screenshot during the failure. Okay. Then you can see I have a package name as config.properties file is present inside this config folder, okay, or config package. Okay. So all the static data like browser informations, URLs, username, password, environment, okay, screenshot path, all these things can present inside this config file, okay, and we can keep it in a key and value format. Okay, what is the key and what is the value? For example, we will have different environments, right? QA environment, staging environment, production environment, in which environment we are running the test cases. So you can put it there. Okay, what is the URL you are trying to use? So all these are like the things or the static data you can put inside your config file. Okay, if you want to change, you just change it in the config file and then you can read it. Okay, easily you can switch or you can execute your test cases in different environments or in different URLs. Okay, then the next thing is we have a database package. Okay, here you can see. So this database package will have all the code related to DB connections or fetching some information from DB. Okay, basically all the methods related to your database validations are available here inside this SQL connection connector.java class. Okay, so you can use this to do all this database validations. Then we have a package known as drivers. Okay, all the driver classes like Chrome driver, Firefox driver, IE driver are present inside this driver package. Okay, then we have this page object. Okay, I have already explained you about the page object model, page object design pattern. Okay, so we have two separate packages, one for a page object where all the page objects are present, and another is test package where actual test cases are present. Okay, here you can see, right, where actual test cases are present, and here all the page objects are present. Okay, so basically we have kept all the tests independent. If there are any changes to the page, we can do it in the page class. So automatically it will get reflected in the test cases because we will consume all these page objects, right, in our test cases. Okay, then the next thing is test data. Okay, so we are reading data from an Excel file. Okay, so all the data present here, okay, inside this test.xls file. Okay, we are using Apache POI library to read and write data to an Excel file. Okay, then you can talk about this utility package. Okay, we have a utility package where we have kept all the utility methods. For example, we saw, right, how to read and write Excel file code, right? So we can keep it inside this utility file. For example, we have some code to generate random number or random string. Okay, so we can keep that inside this utility class. Okay, so basically all the methods which can be reused across the project you can put inside this utility class or utility package. Okay, then here you can see we have a data provider package. We know TestNG provides data provider feature. Though we are reading data from Excel file, still in some cases we use data provider, and all those data details, right, are present inside this data provider. Okay, then we have a test suite. Okay, I have already spoke about this test suite, right? So all the actual test cases are present here. Okay, then we have a test output folder which gets generated after test execution. We also have separate folders for reports and screenshots, okay, which gets captured in case of test case failure. Okay, we have a pom.xml file and we have a testng.xml file. Okay, so in this pom.file we store all our dependencies, we keep all our dependencies. Also we have integrated testng.xml file and configured to run in Jenkins. Okay, then you can see this testng.xml file. Testng.xml file helps in organizing our test. This helps in creating and handling multiple test classes, define different test suites and tests. Okay, we can perform parallel execution by configuring this testng.xml file. Okay, that's all. You can explain all these things in your interview. I hope this video is helpful for you. I'm planning to make more videos on framework. Please let me know in the comment section what kind of videos you want. Do let me know if you need a video in detail to create framework from scratch or more interview questions on framework. Also, if you have any questions, please do let me know. I'll definitely try to answer that. I hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you. Bye bye.